Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and with me is my business partner, G. Levitt, founder of Toolbox OS. Now, Toolbox OS is pioneering the business concept of investing tech for equity. And pretty amazing, because I've heard of a lot of different things where folks are investing assets for equity, but tech for equity? How did this come about, G?
You know, I had a marketing company, actually. It was a service business. It wasn't very profitable. In fact, I had a 11% net margins, which was frustrating to me, as I'm sure it could be to others on the line here. So what I did was I looked at what was bogging the business down from being more profitable, right? And I was thinking, wow, how could we mitigate all of this and have a much more profitable business? And I stumbled on software. And I found about 19 things in my business that I thought were automatable. And so I built my own software.
Nice.
I didn't build it for anyone else. I didn't have a concept of becoming a software.
You started just doing this for yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted to make my business better. And we built this one-off version of software, not with the idea of being a software company, and we 5x'd our net profit.
Wow.
And in the process of doing that, we had a pretty big epiphany that like, wow, we're pretty good at automation. We were pretty good at software. You know, in 2009 was when we did this. And that birthed kind of this idea of, wow, what if we kept investing into more code and kept building more software? And so what I did was the increase in profits that I achieved from building that software and getting that margin up to 50%, I used that money for 9.5 years to continue to build software, and I built over 30 softwares.
Nice. So now, Toolbox OS has several ways that business owners and entrepreneurs can benefit. And the first way is the tech for equity kind of model, where a company gets a chance to utilize your tech and your software and really turn them into what I call a technology powerhouse, right? So how does that work?
Yeah, well, it simply works by addressing the three things that actually influence what your business is worth, which is your revenue, your EBITDA or net margins, let's call them, and the multiple that your business is valued at. And so by looking at those three items, we're able to address whether a tech for equity concept makes sense.
Gotcha.
Well, how do we do that? Well, we look at the revenue, the EBITDA, and the valuation multiple. So we call that rev. And we look at those three numbers individually, and we ask ourselves this one question. If tech were a strength, not a weakness, what could we really do, right? Where would revenue go if we had all the technology we needed? Where could the potential of the business go, right? What would be possible? And what a lot of people come to the conclusion of is, wow, I mean, if I had all the tech in the world, I could franchise the business I have and create 50 locations. Or 500 locations.
Makes it duplicatable. Right?
Yeah, and now all of a sudden they have a vision of, well, I have a $2 million business, but that could be a $100 million business. And so that would be a 50x growth on revenue to go from 2 million to 100 million. Right? And so we'll literally write down 50x as like the target revenue like uptick, right? And then we'll move on to EBITDA or net margins, right? We'll look at the profitability of the business and we'll do the same thing. Well, you know, in my case, I had a business that was 11% net, right? And we moved it to over 50% net. So that's a 5x jump, right? Commonly we find 2x, 3x potential jumps, right? 20% margins moving to 50% margins. That type of thing. So now we've got 50x times, let's say 2x. Well, we've 100x the value of the business if we can execute just on those two items. Because these are exponential growth, right? We move both numbers, we get exponential gains. So at 100 times, we're starting to look pretty good, right? And then we look at the last piece, which is the valuation multiple. How is the company actually valued, right? Is it worth 5 times net profit or 8 times net profit? Well, we can move that number up to 15, 20 times net profit, sometimes even 2 or 3 times revenue, sometimes 8 or 9, 10 times revenue by making it tech efficient, tech enabled, or actually adding a technology business component to the business they already have. It's phenomenal to be able to move those multiples and move the valuation up.
I mean, this is how franchise companies have succeeded for many years, is they create a duplicatable system and softwares. And so you're doing what franchise companies do for a non-franchise company that needs the expertise of somebody like yourself and Toolbox, what you bring to the table. So this is one amazing benefit for Toolbox OS is to give big multiples on the growth and the valuation of the company. So that's one great opportunity. But if you don't own a business, you can still benefit from Toolbox OS, right? Because you have a way for entrepreneurs who can become sort of like brokers, I guess, right? And bring deal flow in and benefit, correct?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
And if you understand that rev concept, right, you realize that these exponential gains in enterprise value in what your business is worth have major impacts for your friends, right? If you know a lot of entrepreneurs. So I think the first thing to address is, if you pulled out your phone right now and you went through your contact list, how many people in that contact list are entrepreneurs that own a business, right?
Yeah.
And how many of those entrepreneurs are not tech deficient, right? It's probably unlikely, right, that all those entrepreneurs have mastered technology.
Right.
Some of them might actually have tech businesses, but what I've found is that with my brokers, as you call them, my deal partners, 80% of the time, the first referral they give me closes.
Oh,
Can you believe that?
Well, that's a good thing.
Your intellect and your intelligence about your own network, the relationship equity you have with people will lead you to the right people. And that is equity sitting in your phone that you can tap into and turn into real dollars.
Right, I love it. Your phone becomes a golden Rolodex almost, right? I love that. So, so there's two ways. You own a business, you can have great multiples and success. If you want to be in business with your group as a broker or an affiliate type of thing. The third is an investor, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Is that, and so
Yeah,
why is that
absolutely.
important? And
Well, mostly because we're just generating unbelievable returns for investors in the sense that the stock just keeps climbing so aggressively.
Right.
And we're on a fast track to be public, right? So we should be public within the next couple of years if I can execute on the plan I have currently. And in the current trajectory, we'll have 64 companies in our portfolio by the end of this year, which is, a phenomenal number. And so if you thought about that number, I mean, even if, those businesses on average were only worth, let's say $7 or $8 million, that still could be a $500 million portfolio.
Yeah.
So when you've got this stock that's climbing so fast, this business model that works so well, the bottom line is the business model is going to be a massive success in America and in Wall Street.
And this is why I got involved with UG. I'm one of the largest shareholders, and I appreciate that because you and I get to work hand in hand with these companies, with these brokers, and with these investors to share with them the plus side and the powerful benefits that we bring to these companies. In fact, as an entrepreneur, I have certain skills. I'm good at building the business, but the tech side, the digital side, the operations, these are things that I need to get for my businesses, and Toolbox OS is there to provide that. So this may even help me keep my overhead a little tighter in the process too. Is that another benefit that comes along? Yeah.
And you know what's really funny about it, Kevin? I mean, it's really super comical to me is we'll meet with investors that become actual deals. They'll need the tech for equity deal, right? We'll meet with brokers who will become deals, right?
Yeah.
We meet with deal people who want to invest.
Right.
Almost all of my brokers have stock in the company because what they want to do is they want to double side everything.
Gotcha.
Right? So if you think about it as like, I'm going to take a tech for equity deal. Well, if I'm going to do that and Toolbox is my business partner, then I want some Toolbox stock because I'm helping grow their stock by virtue of my effort.
Yes.
And now I've double-sided the deal. And some people, it sounds funny to say, I have people who are investors, they're deals, and they refer deals. So they're triple-siding this situation.
I love it. I love it. And for me, this has become one of my largest portfolio companies, and thanks to UG. So I want to thank those that are listening also, because if you're out there, you're going to fit one of these areas most likely, whether you have a business or you want to make money or you want to invest money. So any famous last words for the folks that are listening right now before we wrap up?
I would just say that rev model, think about it, right? Whether it's technology or not, you really only have 3 numbers that increase the value of your business.
Yes, great, fantastic. So thank you for being part of our presentation today. And I just want to say, if you want more information, go to toolboxos.com. You'll see a lot of great stuff there. And G, thank you for being here today. Take care.